Richmond 9. Okay, good. So let's just see what kind of lap times we can run. I don't even know what a quick lap really is going to look like here. It's been so long since I've run this track, and I know that the package is different. So we'll actually switch this over to session best lap, starting out at a 21.69, and we're going to try to get that down. Just going to run a few laps to get familiar with this. Then we'll go out and run hot lap, and then try to do some longer runs to get a feel for how the car is going to work on the long run. Main thing is to just have that increased comfort level out of the gate when we go to Richmond to start the week, as opposed to having to work our way up to that. This is already feeling better. And again, I'm comparing it to my best lap of the session now, so it should be coming down. It's not comparing to the best lap of all time anymore. It's nice and smooth on the throttle. So it's coming down. It's at a 21.5 now. Let's make this a 10-lap run. So similar to what a time trial would be. Actually, I might just run the full 90 laps, simulated race, and really get familiar with it. Should be able to complete that in time. I know this might be a little bit more boring than normal, but I'm trying to just work out and get a comfort level. So I enter turn 1 a little bit high. Turn 1, you want to kind of really let the car roll, and then late apex it to try to get a straight run off of turn 2. You don't want to have the wheel cocked too hard, because otherwise, if you've got too much wheel in it coming off the corner, when you put your foot down, it's going to spin the car. Same with coming out of turn 4. There's a bend in the straightaway, so your wheels are always a little bit turned. You really need to be careful getting back to the throttle, because it's really easy to turn the car coming off of 4. Just nice and easy, and again, brake. Even run up that second line, let it hook, and then pick up the throttle. I remember the last time that I was here that as the run went along, the high line really started coming in better. So hopefully we can play with that again, because using that high line was a lot of fun as the tires got warm. See it dropping off a little bit right now. A few laps on the tires. Car's going to be a little bit slower. Overdrove it into turn 1 a little bit and slid. Yeah, the Ghost doesn't mess me up too much. It's kind of nice to have a reference car out there. You can see how different the car is, where the difference is a little bit. on old tires versus new as well. Not able to get in the turn with the same confidence, but it's really on, you know, how it rolls and then hooks up on exit. You just get a little bit less roll speed through the center of the corner. I was actually better off, so I'm probably going to end up, when I go back to running another hot lap, I should pick up some time again now that I've got a better feel for how the track's working. That's the advantage to running a little bit of testing here. It's going to be interesting to see, but I'm expecting that, you know, this should pay dividends when I get out on the track on Tuesday if I do some, you know, additional testing here on the weekend on the tracks that are coming up next week. I'm hoping to be better out of the gate and get some good finishes early in the week against, you know, sometimes you actually get the higher strength of fields on like Tuesdays and stuff like that. So I really want to take advantage of that to get some good points picked up. And there is what we were talking about with losing the car off of turn 2. Just a little bit too much gas and a little bit too much wheel in it. That was with like 11 or 12 laps on the tires. But here we go again. Braking a little bit earlier now, going into 3. And getting that good run off of 4. Too conservative going into turn 1. But pulling better off the corner. Good roll through 3 and 4. Shaving a little time off that lap. Much better here on this second one. More aggressive into turn 1. And I got a better drive off of 2 as well. Overdrove it a little bit into 3, but got good drive off. Lap time is coming down for sure. Richmond's been one of my better tracks on iRacing, so this is a place where every time I come to it, I hope to try to compete for a win. Definitely top 5s, but this is one that I want to try to go for a win at. Caught it that time. Probably doesn't look like much of a wiggle on screen, but that was a big one. Really had to get out of it there. Is it nice as it is to know that you can save those? You really don't want to do that. Drive the car right to the limits without stepping over them. Braking. Hitting the gas again. I see what you're saying, gasometers. Yeah. It is kind of a shame that you have to, you know, pay for private session time, but I understand why they're doing it. Although you would think that, you know, they'd have something in there where for a private session that you could just make, you know, at least give the option to be like, just let me do it for free and host it myself. But I understand why they charge for taking up, you know, bandwidth and space on one of their servers. Get a private server rental. Just, you know, this seems to be pretty much the line that I like at Richmond. I'm going to have to go back and watch some videos and probably maybe check out the stuff in virtual racing school. Look at what Ray Alfala's line is. This has kind of always been the line that I do. Kind of a wide entry into one and a shallow entry into turn 3. Turn 1 decreases radius, so I like to late apex it. Turn 3 and 4 is increasing radius, so hit the apex early and then wind it up coming out. Right out to the wall. You really want to make sure that you don't spin those tires on that front straightaway. It's very easy to get this car turned around. Because as we've seen at Sonoma's, there's just so much power in these A cars that a lot of the driving skill is being able to corral all those horses. Nice and easy. Put about 15 laps or 14 laps on these tires now. And we can see that the lap time falls off by, you know, 2 or 3/10 of a second. Not a huge amount of fall off, but it's enough. Let's see. Simulate some race conditions here. Let's get this to you know, 4 more laps, do a 20-lap run, and then take a look at what the tire wear looks like. As this channel goes, I'll probably start making these. I might make Saturday afternoon practice sessions a thing. I'll set up figure out how to set up a server, get that set up, throw up a lobby, so that we can all hop in there and get some practice time. Sideways. Alright, gonna do one more lap and then bring it down pit road. And we'll have a look at the tires. Danced it around a bit there, didn't have as good a lap as I needed to. That's something else that I need to do, you know, is in addition to, you know, raw pulling speed, I need to be more consistent with my lap times as well. Because all those little mistakes through the course of a race add up as well. So part of what I need to do if I really want to start contending for wins is eliminating and ironing out those little slips that happen in the middle of a run. And I got focused on talking and looking around and not paying attention to what I was doing and missed that. So 95% on the right front. That was after lap 17 to 36, so a 20 lap run. and the right front's at 95%. The left front's at 96, so probably wouldn't want to do a 2-tire change here unless it was really late in the race and there weren't many laps left. But my guess is that I'm going to want to do 4 tires most of the time on these pit stops. Definitely overdoing it on the fronts versus the rears. So actually, let me do this. I'm gonna take some brake bias out of the thing. Let's take it to 62% and see how that changes things. That wasn't the brake bias there, that was me getting on the gas. With a little bit too much wheel in it. But I was quicker through 1 and 2 than I've been in this session, so. There's the brake bias hurting me. A little bit of a lockup with the rears. I'm gonna try this again. I really want to see what happens if I, with a good hot lap. Throwing the brake bias back to 62 might be too much of an adjustment though. But I think I can control it, and I think that that'll be better. We'll see. We're driving it into the corner. So 62 might be too much. I'm having to take it a little bit too gingerly now. Move it back to 63 and see how that works. I'm only playing with settings that I'll be able to play with and fixed. But I could start throwing everything around. I'm only assuming that this is going to be the setup that's used too. They might change the setup when it comes out. But I think that the base Richmond night setup should be pretty close to what they have us running next week. There we go. Picked up another 10th. I'm thinking that sitting on the pole is going to require something in the 21 flats, or probably in the 20s. Making my marks going into turn 3 there. There's turn 1 and 2. That was nice. Pretty good through 3 and 4 too. Tires don't wear super quick here. They stay good for a good, 5 laps or so. Gained some time on entry there, but probably would actually be able to make that work on fresh tires. Interesting. Let's go get some fresh ones again. This time I'm gonna try to just go down pit road and get them that way. Too fast in entering. Got about 7 more minutes of this before, actually maybe just a few more minutes. Just want to get a couple more runs at a hot lap time to see what we can bring it down to, and then I'm going to switch over and get a little bit of practice in the street stock for Bristol, which ought to be a fun race. I'm going to have to get a...
That's it, go!
I don't know what I'm running on the street track right now either. I think it's a old Darrell Waltrip scheme. I'm gonna have to do paint for a new paint for the street stack. Oh, that was looking to be pretty quick there if I didn't lose it off at 2. Pretty quick entering there. I wonder if this is going to be one of those tracks where your second lap's actually quicker than the first. Hey JD Smoke, how's it going, man? Had a okay race at Sonoma and a pretty good race at South Boston too. Would have been a lot better if I hadn't gotten turned, but still ended up being an okay race. Right now I'm just doing some testing at Richmond to get ready for a fix there next week. That's the line that I want. This is going to be a lot quicker. Very nice. 21.1. There's more speed in her yet. I couldn't hook it up off. Oh yeah, Supercross tonight. Where are they running? And what point is the Supercross season? Is this the start of their season or the end of their season? All right, here we go. This is the qualifying run. quicker still. 21.083. All right. First race of their season. Okay. I don't even know who the big players are in Supercross anymore. What time does that Supercross race start? How long? That might be a fun one to watch. Okay, so they run Supercross early in the year and then switch to motocross. Gotcha. Never paid as much attention to those series, so I never really got the sense of how their season worked. So that was a pretty good test session. We ran 58 laps, 7 laps, and we kept getting quicker. So 21.083 was our quick time. We'll try to keep improving on that. But